We're talking to Mr. James Settles, the founder and the executive director of Ephesus House. And of course, let's see Mr. Settles over the last segment here that we have to give you an opportunity, as we promised earlier, to talk about the house that you've established and about some of the things that you're doing there and some of the needs that you have, because I'm sure that there are some individuals in our audience who can assist you in just a whole variety of ways. And so if we'll spend the rest of the time talking about some of the things that you need.
Okay. Well, one of the things at Ephesus House is we have like a 9-bedroom facility, and what we teach is we actually teach life skill. We teach parenting skills. We do a lot of talking about goals, and also we have curfew. Even one of the things that we really try to do is we teach job readiness, stuff like that. Try to teach men how to put themselves in a position to market themselves, and because I really think that is very important. And one of our most important things is trying to change the way people think. Because see, one of the things that as I shared with you earlier, I think more than anything, it was my thinking that was messed up. Anytime you feel like it's somebody else's problem, or I'm not going to work for white folks for minimum wage, but I go to prison and work over 8 years for 50 cents an hour. See, my thinking, and that don't mean that I'm such a bad person, but my thinking just needs to be adjusted. So we try to work with the way that our men think, and we work with that whole piece about being responsible. We also charge the men a $100 program fee, because one of the things about this life is we got to build men up to be responsible. And we try to put a man in a situation where there's no way out but to be responsible. Now, when we go to talking about some of the needs that we have, we've been actually incorporated over 2 years. We still haven't gotten a grant, and most of the people we are serving are people that are from the state or people that are homeless, but you know, we still haven't received any funding,
any kind of assistance from the state that ought to be concerned about some of the activities that you're involved in. And the need is so great. One of the things that, you know, we have lined up is, you know, like after 30 days, a man can work his way into getting him a vehicle where he got to show proof of license and proof of insurance. All of that is about trying to train and help a human being to be the best he can be. Next door to our building, we're trying to do a training facility if we can come up with the funding for it. And what that training facility will consist of is we will have all of our meetings over there, NAAA meetings. We'll teach our life skill program over there. I know some people that do work in grafting, and I know a man that also works in electrical. And so what we would like to do is turn that into like a 13 or 14-week course in order to help people. Train these young people.
Because see, if you train, not only do you want to change the way people think, but some of these men have children. And so we want to actually train and teach men how to be a good father, how to be a good brother, how to be a good son, you know, because all of this stuff has to be actually properly taught. We act as if, you know, people pop out and supposed to know these things, but they're
you're saying that it's a real problem in terms of the knowledge that many individuals who fall into those categories have in reference to themselves, their thoughts, and ways. Is that what
definitely, because see, you catch a guy, he come from home from a dysfunctional background, then he go to prison to another dysfunctional background, and then what you do is you send him back to a situation that's supposed to be his
rehabilitation.
education. He's out.
No, the word I'm looking for is actually his support system. Well, his support system is faulty. And we're trusting God right now that we'll be able to do a pilot program where we can kind of change guys around to keep them out of their comfort zone. Because, see, a lot of times, even for my parents, if I had went back to Memphis, you know, my parents, they probably would have threw me a party, you know, and just wanted to have a good time with me, which here I am. I've been sober almost 10 years before I've been back, and then I go back and start drinking. You're getting right back in the same cycle. Which I can't call them bad people. They just, they trying to show me some love, and that's just the only way they know how to show love. So we can't say that they're bad people. That's just the only way they know how to show love. So if we could get people to partner up with us with the vision that we have, we know that not only can we help with the recidivism rate, you know, because I'm thinking now it's something like right at 50 or 60 people, I mean 60% of people pretty much return back. Well, we got a success rate of 8% of people that have actually came through and just stayed for 90 days. You know, our program is actually a 90-day program. Then we partnered up with Urban Housing Solution to kind of, instead of a guy having to go back into a dysfunctional environment, to help him get an apartment, to help him to continue to be a man. You know, and the tragedy about what we call our support system, sending a man back home, is a lot of times our families can be faulty, but they don't mean no harm. They just don't know. So if we could come up with that program, like I say, this pilot program, I mean, all covering the whole Western Tennessee, for instance, then we can take people and put them in different spots and train them how to be responsible and trust God, you know, for the rest of their growth. Because I really believe that a lot of people just don't know how to be responsible and how to, and just because a person is from 20 to 40, don't mean that he know how to be a man. And being a man, it takes a lot of responsibility. And I think a lot of times that's why we deviate to drugs or different things of that nature, because it's hard.
Well, speaking of grants, and I'd like to pursue this, do you think it would be cost effective if the state of Tennessee were to assist organizations like your organization and others? I've heard others raise the same point, that they don't feel that they're getting the kind of financial and resource support for what they are trying to do, when if they are successful in doing what they're doing, it would be a dramatic decrease in the amount of money that we have to spend for the prisons and billboard prisons and et cetera, et cetera. Is that a correct statement? Do you think that that's a fair statement?
I think it is. Why I think it is because what happens is when a guy does not return back, you got a more healthier human being. You got a man that if he got children, he gonna be a better father to his children. And one of the things why I'm so stuck on getting the man right is if you get the man, if you can get him right, you not only got him, but you got everything that he come in contact with, whether it's his woman, whether it's his wife, whether it's his children, you know, because again,
he's the center of
that's right.
Of everything here. That where the way he goes, everything else can follow the way he goes. Yeah.
But see, and even in the midst of it, you know, I think the key is you got to have the type of program that's got the proper structure. You know, like when I say the proper structure, I just don't believe that a person can live this life without some kind of spiritual guidance. I just don't believe it. Now, I'm not trying to tell a person to be Buddha or Jesus, or but you have to have something.
Recognize that there's a God and
that's greater than you. And this have to be a standard, because without a standard, I mean, you just do anything. And I really believe that early on in my life, there was a big gap there, because I never will forget, right before I went to prison, I found myself sitting there on top of my car, got the car I want, got the lady friend, got the money, got the dope, but it's still something missing. You know, got all the stuff that I thought, the utopia that I thought was going to make me the big man on campus, but you know, yet I'm still empty. So, you know, it took coming into a personal relationship with Jesus. That's when NA and AA made sense. And one of the things that I am thankful for is that's how God took my pain and established my purpose.
Hey, well, let me thank you, Mr. Settles, for bringing us that excellent information by. And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning. We simply